Welcome back to the Lanterne Rouge Cycling Podcast presented by Zwift. In cycling today, we have the second stage of Vuelta at Burgos, which was, as we said, a very nice finish for Kopecky from Sasamont to Aguilar de Campo. There was like a 800-meter 6% roller, 5Ks from the finish. That's not something that would bother her whatsoever. But what I mentioned yesterday, no Moolman here. They have a team of 5, I think, and Shackley's very slight, as well as Neve Fisher-Black. Vollering's riding for GC. So Kopecky's got about one domestique, and that played out. That influenced this stage massively today, Benji.
Certainly. We had a breakaway up the road initially that actually got a huge gap, and that included 6 riders. Lara Vicelli, Nina Buisman, which on paper is the rider I know the most in this breakaway personally. Matilde Vitillo in there as well. We've got Andrea Ramirez, Jennifer Duquara, that is the closest in GC, so the most dangerous one in GC, actually really close in GC. So let's say this breakaway wins, she's a likely candidate to take the leader's jersey. And then Jesenia Meneses also in that breakaway. There were some other riders joining later on, but the most important names are already named here, and that breakaway just, got a solid gap. I think when the coverage started with 45 kilometers to go, I was like shocked that it said 7 minutes, because you don't see like huge gaps in women's cycling like this that often, because they want to try and control as much as possible, smaller teams in races and so forth, leading to that decision. And we see that 7-minute gap trying to be controlled by SD Works, having 2 riders that are like switching around at the front, but not necessarily the tempo where you say, okay, they're going to catch this breakaway ASAP, because like 10 kilometers later with 35 kilometers to go, the gap is only down 1.5 minutes. So down to 5 minutes 30. And that's where Canyon Schramm started kicking in. Were you surprised that a team like SD Works, well, you said it, like you basically already said it.
They can't do anything.
Yeah, what can they do? Like, they're not going to put Vollering at the front.
No.
You start pacing for Kopecky. Although I do feel like the riders that were at the front at that moment were still there later on. So perhaps those riders could have ridden faster than they did, but perhaps they were like, okay, the gap is 7 minutes anyway. We're not winning the stage anyway. Why should we spend that completely and just have Kopecky come first in the peloton behind the breakaway? But some other teams, kept on doing work. Like 24K to go. SD Works, Liva, and Canyon Schramm were then pacing. So 3 teams at work. Then Volcar kicked in and actually did quite some work. Again, you're right, Movistar. But Movistar did kick in the last 10 kilometers for Norsgaard, together with DSM. And then the gap was already down to like 1:30. I don't know what happened between like 15K to go and 10K to go, because the gap just melted from like 3 minutes to 1 minute. And I was like, okay, time gaps. Okay, I'll take it. But Grace Brown crashed and then decided to attack. She didn't get away, unfortunately. So my pick of yesterday, it at least was an attempt. Okay, there was an attempt. Something happened. It didn't work out. But you said it, Movistar not pacing that early. You think it's also because, are they also here with like 5 riders only, I think?
I think it's because Kopecky ruined Norsgaard yesterday. Like, that has to play into it, your willingness to contribute. If you think you have a 50-50 chance, and you can see SD Works aren't bluffing, they don't have Majoris here, I don't believe. They don't have Chantal van den Broek-Black. They're not bluffing. But you're like, well, regardless, I'm not going to pull for Kopecky to destroy everyone in the uphill sprint. And Kopecky eventually did do that. She beat Norsgaard in this sprint again. The problem was they never caught the breakaway. Unlike in the Giro stage, this break stayed away with Matilda Vitillo on B Pink team, winning ahead of Nina Buisman on the Human Powered Health, formerly called Rally, Lara Viacelli third on Sarah Tizit, Aranzana Villalon, and Nora Yankosova coming 4th and 5th, with the Colombian on the Colombia Tierra de Atletas team, Jennifer Ducara, on 2nd, 6th, only 5 seconds ahead of Kopecky, but she goes into the GC lead by 6 seconds, which is awesome to see. And as Benji said, it's rare that you see this, because we haven't had, and it's changing now, but there haven't been as many stage races at World Tour level with genuine mountaintop finishes. And the mountaintop finish means that you can give the break 7 minutes. You can, if a break wins, so be it. It's similar to the men's racing. And so we have a first time ever winner, Matilda Vitillo, the 21-year-old, winning. And I think Nina Boisman's actually quite good, though. She's 24. She's got 2 UCI wins and has been good on the Spanish circuit. But yeah, an interesting stage, Benji. But I think tomorrow it will be I don't see the same thing happening again tomorrow. I think with the climb a bit further away from the finish and shallow gradient, uphill finish, 112 Ks, 1,400 meters, 4%, I think Kopecki's cleaning this up.
Ooh, I think the finish actually fits her as well, and I think it's the same finish that we saw Cecilia Trupludwig win last year, which was rather punchy, right? Because I swear that I saw the profile before that race, and it wasn't as punchy on the profile as in real life, but I still have a feeling that if we see Kopecky as in the Kopecky from Strade and so forth, that level of climbing and punching, that she should do well on this parcours, but you've got 2 candidates in that team, like Vollering could genuinely also perform on the finish like this, and that's where it's intriguing. What if they sprint with 2? Can they 1-2 this stage?
They could. I think Vollering should lead out Kopecky if Kopecky's in good shape. But yeah, I mean, Norsgaard, again, she should be contesting. It's not that hard, but as Benji said, like, these profiles are deceiving. Even that 4K 4% climb, I said, it's literally like 2%, then 9%, 2%, 9%. It's very steep around here in the Basque Country. I'm trying to look for any. This is a Grace Brown one too, attacking before the climb.
Yeah.
I'm going for Lippert to win this.
Ooh, that's like the name I wasn't expecting. Like, it's quite punchy, but I don't rate her sprint as high.
She's fast.
I'm going to go with Brown again from a late attack, just like I did yesterday. It didn't happen today. She ended up crashing, but I believe it's going to happen at some point, and why not happen here? Because I don't think her climbing is good enough to win on Laguna Zanaya, so she needs to try stuff beforehand. Definitely with Cavalli out, they need to try something.
100%. So yeah, and if your SD works, if she wins by 20 seconds, I wouldn't be particularly concerned. Vollering should be taking a lot of time tomorrow. But that was a nice little stage, and I think tomorrow is quite an interesting finish. Definitely one worth tuning into. A Vuelta Burgos is finishing before the Giro stage, so you can watch it, no problem. The last 15 Ks, I think, are definitely worth watching tomorrow. But thanks as always to Zwift for supporting the Lanterne Rouge Cycling podcast. As I've said, they make your online cycling training fun. They have for Benji and myself. If you want to check out Zwift, you can go to zwift.com for a free 7-day trial through the link down below, and maybe follow them on Instagram as well to be kept abreast of the news happening with Zwift, which there's some pretty big news coming this year with Zwift. But otherwise, that's all from Benji and I, and we'll see you with the Stage 14 recap and Vuelta Burgos Stage 3 recap tomorrow. Ciao.